passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Mugello in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Mugello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of the line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
It.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Hello everybody and welcome back to the iGPFun F3 League here for Season 1 of 2024. We're into Round 5 now here live from Mugello, and in this shortened season we're fast approaching the halfway mark in this time around of the championship. But welcome along to everyone. My name's Ewan Leary alongside James Parfitt. Only just introduced into iRacing, and for the very first time we'll be taking part in it for this league. It's good to be here for this one, James. I've got to say I do enjoy driving around this circuit, watching races at this circuit as well, and so hopefully it's a good race here today.
Yeah, it definitely should be. I think it should be a cracker. 29 laps on the clock. The purple zone running right out until we get round turn 3, which should avoid turn 1 carnage here, dear sir. But never to say, it might happen here again as well. Championship standings on the screen for you there, buddy.
Yeah, it's these are, of course, not with the drop rounds that we'll start to think about a little bit more as we get further towards the end of the season. Lee Aberdeen has accumulated the most points so far after not finishing below second all season. Brent Ruiz is in that second position ahead of Antonio Jimenez, who has 1 point over Pedro Suarez. Mackenzie Roon runs out the top 5 with Will McIntyre 6th. Ivan van der Hoek has been having a good season. He's 7th so far. There's a bit of a jump back to Luca Veroni, an even bigger one back to Evan Way, with Rino Scattini rounding out the top 10. Robert Ridgway is 11th out of Ben Goyet. And then it's Kenzie Newhoff, who's missed 2 rounds so far this season, but he's done well in the ones that he's been at. So that's got him 13th. Thibaut Rabelais is 14th out of Andy Flint, with Kevin Zwemstra just a further point behind, tied with Chris George Angelidis for 16th place. Then Václav Potapenko and Mike Zotlovs are tied for 18th, with Nicholas Rasmussen rounding out the top 20. To go a bit further, Samu Hermer is in 21st out of Sebastian Hirsch. Leonard Demir Bass, then it's Sultans and Motta, who's below 60 points. Stuart Milne is 27th out of Manuel Vargas, with Jacques Willems and Matthew Grady to round out the top 30 in our standings. Got a bit further than we usually do, but there you are. That's an update on where we are in the standings. And it's fair to say Lee Aberdeen is dominating. He's got pole here at Mugello. He's not finished below second all season, which says it all really about the way he's started 2024.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's had a great season so far, and I think one that, he can carry on if he can just keep that momentum going here as well. Brent Ruiz leads the rookie series with Mackenzie Roon in second and Thibaut Rabelais in third there as well. There is literally about 14 points between all of them. In the 2.5K, Rino Scattini is leading the way with Chris George Angelidis in second, and then Oscar Artinanu in third there as well. In the team standings overall, it's Hydro Race Racing Forces out in front with Delta Sport 2 in second, XPD Emerald in the third with Double X Racing Team in fourth there. So some great battles materialising, and I think all in all it should be an absolute epic evening of racing. 29 laps of racing here, Ewan. Oh, it's going to be spicy.
It is going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to. I know you said to me before the stream, James, that you broadcasted here this morning for the first time. I'm broadcasting on this circuit tonight for the very first time, and I'm sure the amount of time from which this circuit was released to it being introduced into the series.
Yeah, the circuit's been out, what? A few weeks, 5 weeks now, isn't it? Since the beginning of week 13, I think that's the only time it's been released. But, let's see how these drivers contend with it, and let's see how they get on here as well. But there's the grid there, sir.
Yep, it's the Aberdeen on pole with Will McIntyre Jones alongside. Mackenzie Roon is alongside Ewan van der Hoek on row 2 with Tony Jimenez and Pedro Suarez making up an Iberian row 3. It's Kevin Zwemstrom, Brent Ruiz next ahead of Fabio Grassetto and Nicholas Vestman to round out the top 10. Luca Veroni just outside of that with Jakub Olszewski, Evan Way and Patrick Piper are on row 7 ahead of Andy Flint and Eddie Amos. Then it's Richard Van Veen with Thibaut Rabelais. Giacomo Ponte is on the 10th row with Adam Townsend to round up the top 20. Patrick Williams and John McKenzie are next in the 11th row. Then it's Oscar Ortinano and Giovanni Salito on home soil from 24th. Rino Scatini and Maximilian Lenti is in 29th at Zoltan Zamota. And then we've got Haitham Mizban Demena with Koji Ito and Marco Giuliani to round out the 33 drivers on the grid today. A smaller grid, but that might be a good thing. And the purple zone is going to be a good thing in towards turn 1 as well. A big stop down here in towards turn number 1 and well, hopefully no incidents because of the purple zone.
Well, hopefully we shouldn't have any incidents, right? But at the end of the day, you know, who knows? We know it's no forced overtakes, which means no active overtakes, which means you can't necessarily go and dive somebody. But it doesn't mean that you can't overtake if they don't slide off. So, you know, let's see how they get on here.
Let's see how we get on with the lights on at Mugello. We are underway for 29 laps of racing. It's about getting a good launch here, and Will McIntyre Jones hasn't quite done that. Mackenzie Roon's already alongside and ahead. Ewan van der Hoek going to do the same as well. No active overtaking in towards turn 1, but that doesn't mean you can't make up a place with a good start. And Mackenzie Roon has done just that, into second position for the American already. McIntyre Jones not getting off to a very good start at all in that one, and was lucky actually to hang on for van der Hoek. Now out of turn 3, the purple zone is over. We're racing for real, but that won't matter for the next few corners. It's very twisty, very technical to start off this circuit here at Mugello.
Yeah, there's some fights all the way through there as well. McIntyre Jones did get off to a somewhat lackluster start. Not an ideal scenario for him to get off the line there as well, but Ewan van der Hoek is tucked up right behind him currently at the moment. Lee Aberdeen nearly 6 tenths out in front already. We've lost some people here. Ponta, Zamota, Giuliani and Koji Ito, who don't look they have taken to the start here, as Pedro Suarez is also having a go with the XPD Emerald. Tony Jimenez once again. It's a great battling materialising through the field at the moment, all the way down to John McKenzie, who is fighting away with Oscar Artinanu here in front of us, and we've got Giovanni Salito tucked up right behind us. So I've got a funny feeling we've lost 4 drivers already, but there is still action going on the track.
Yeah, there is, and it's one long line here from that corner to, from first place right down to probably 28th position in the race. It doesn't look like Giacomo Ponte, Zoltan Zamota, Marco Giuliani or Koji Ito actually got away at all. From the looks of what I'm seeing here, we've only got 29 in the field, and one of them is indeed off the road with Demna out at the back. So that's not a good start for some of them, as it's a switch to the inside for Ewan van der Hoek, looking for the inside and looking for third place, and he looks to have got it. It's a sweeping opening hairpin on this racetrack, and it allows you to stay to the inside for turn 2, but it doesn't look like McIntyre Jones has been able to do that, and Ewan van der Hoek's up to third.
Yeah, Van der Hoek there took the position where he needed to here as well. Through turn 4, the left-hander we go, then through the right-hander a 5. Now on the run down, I love this corner name, into Casanova here as well. Some great names they've come up with here as well. But Brent Ruiz is having a nice little tidy battle there as well in that number 31 machine. He's fighting away with Kevin Zwemstra, with Pedro Suarez and Tony Jimenez tucked up right behind him. So still plenty of action happening here as well for these guys as they're heading round turn 9 and down into 10.
Very interesting start to this race. It's staying a lot closer than I was expecting, I've got to say. It is a technical circuit, but it's relatively wide for this size of car, and it's it's a proper Grand Prix layout. This has hosted the Formula One, of course, in the last few years, and it's it didn't feel too, well, it felt kind of small to those, but as soon as you take a little bit of horsepower away and make the cars a bit smaller, all of a sudden you feel like you've got a lot of space to work with around this circuit. Brent Ruiz very nearly run out of space there and got straight into the back of Kevin Zwemstra into the final corner. Pulled it up in time though as we go onto the front straight again.
Yeah, he did. He definitely stopped that going around that final corner there as well. That final corner is very deceiving. I was in a race earlier on, watched a race, sorry, I should say, commentated on it earlier on, and there was different lines round that final corner as Pedro Suarez is looking to try to make a move up the inside of Tony Jimenez there as well. He's pulling him off that inside line. Now can Suarez do it? He can't do it here as well. Through the left-hander of 2, through the right-hander of 3. Now Suarez is looking like he's going again. Is he going to be able to keep it this time? He's not, but we have got Kevin Zwemstra behind him there as well from the Architect NHR, who is scrapping away here as he's gone round the right-hander as well. Some great little battles in the mid-pack. The front 2 starting to get away just a little bit.
They are, and in fact the gaps in the top 5 are actually getting a bit bigger than the rest of the field, and that's what we tend to see. The gaps in the top 10 do get a little bit larger actually than what we see in the midfield, where we normally see fantastic racing. Unfortunately, last week it got pretty spread out in the midfield as well at Indianapolis, and we didn't have much racing towards the end, but that was a pretty engaging race between the top 4 especially. There were twists and turns within that one, and many different leaders and lead changes throughout, but Lee Aberdeen is threatening to make this a one-leader race where he leads all 29 laps. We'll see if he can go home with that, because there's a very long way to go, but he does hold a pretty nice advantage over Mackenzie Roon so far.
Yeah, we're just keeping an eye on Varani there. He's tackling away with Nicholas Westman and Evan Way. So for Luca Varani, he's going to try and have to keep that midfield position down in 11th at the moment. Fabio Grassetto is here as well. He is battling away. He's got Westman between him and Varani, but Westman's looking like he's getting really close now. He has pulled out. Nicholas Westman, is he going to get the job done here? That's the question as we're going past. There he is in the left-hand side of our car. Now we've gone through as well. Great action from these guys and a great pass there from Westman.
Very good indeed, and up to 9th place now, but he's got a bit of a gap to close to Brent Ruiz. There's side by side for 16th as well, as Edward Amos is displaced by Richard van Veen for that position. And so that is another place for the Dutchman, up to 16th now. But he's got an even bigger gap, up to Patrick Piper for 15th in front of him. So the racing is starting to spread out a little bit now, but still good passes, and it looks like turn 1 is the best chance to do that.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's almost the kind of sudden stop here. So it's kind of the best opportunity. They've got that long run. It's almost follow my lead around the rest of the circuit here. That's the kind of problems they've got. Unless somebody gets really out of shape and really out of the flow. This is a flow type circuit. You have to stay within that kind of I'm in the zone all the time. If you don't do that, you're going to be in trouble. So he's got to make sure here that they stay in the flow, as we're looking back at Brent Ruiz, who is currently second in that championship as well. Of course, he's doing an absolutely stellar job. Brought the series by storm this season, really, as he's coming in once more around now. And watch this, Ruiz is just going to go, and then we're going to just see, we should see him get past here. But never say never from Pedro Suarez. As it seems to have...
A real mash-up into turn 1. Let's see what happens here. There's a look to the inside, and, well, it was close for Ruiz, but he couldn't quite do it on that occasion, and he stays back in 8th place. I hope my voice is... that was my internet that time, by the way. I apologise for that, although I can't do anything about it, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, couldn't quite do it. Wasn't quite close enough. Needs to be slightly closer at the final turn if you can manage it.
Yeah, you need to tuck up. We talk about this 2.5 tenths window, and that's the thing when you come out of these corners. You've got to be within really 2.5 tenths to benefit that slipstream, because you've got to get the overspeed, you've got to get alongside and pass, which isn't so bad here at Mugello because of that long front straightaway. But it is if you're not within that 2.5 temp window, and that is what causing some of these drivers the problem. They've got to make sure they can stay close enough through this last third section here as well, from 11 round the long right-hander of 12, then through 13 and 14, and then through the last corner, because if you can stay within that close window there as well, as Pedro Suarez is going to find out very, very shortly, you can make it through. So let's see how they get on here as well.
I do notice, by the way, through those chicanes at the end of the lap there, through Biondetti 1 and 2, they've removed the anti-cut curves through there. Not iRacing, but in real life, they've removed those just to help clean things up a little bit, which is good. They're not really necessary either. It's a flat-out chicane through there. This time, though, Brent Ruiz is a lot closer, and he is going to fly past Pedro Suarez into turn 1. And in fact, well, is he clear in time? Not quite, but he will do it on the brakes. Kevin Swemster and Tony Jimenez will go side by side as well through turn 1. And it looks like Kevin Swemster's going to have that position as well.
Yeah, Swemster's just got through there as well. Great job from him further up the field. He's just made it up 2 places into 5th at the moment there as well for Kevin Swemster. So he's starting to move up the order as well. Chris George Angelina's not looking too comfortable on this circuit, but he is having a great battle down here at the end in 26th and 27 with Maximilian Gebhardt. So go on, George Angelina's son, keep it going as he's battling away further down the back end of the field here. I've noticed they've been getting closer and closer, and now they're literally about, what are they at the moment, 4 tenths apart here. So we'll keep an eye on that one just to give them a little bit of love as well. Andy Flint in the mid-pack. He's got Jakub Olewinski in front of him and Patrick Pieper behind him here as well. So great battles all the way. Keep going throughout the field here as well. Lee Aberdeen slowly opening up 8 tenths.
Yeah, slowly getting away, pushing away from the rest of the field at the moment. 3/4 of a second right now, half a second back then to Van der Hoek. Another 8 tenths to McIntyre Jones, and that's it. It's Van der Hoek who's on the move at the moment, although Roon did his best lap of the race so far on the previous one. He's been caught a little bit on this most recent lap. Out of the final corner goes Piper, and he is the closest to the driver in front of him by quite some distance. Here is going to go the American on his compatriot here, although Flint is going to get the benefit of the slipstream from Jakub Olewski here, just up in front, so that will just help him along and keep it a side-by-side race in towards turn 1 with Flint on the inside too. He might well have it. That was too late on the brakes from Piper and not near the apex, anywhere near it anyway, and so he drops back and loses the place. Meanwhile, Kevin Swemster has gone off the road and made a mistake through turn 3, and he's paid for it. Tony Jimenez goes back through into 5th.
Yeah, Swemster. It's so easy to go a little bit wide here for Kevin Swemster as well. He's also got Ruiz now having to go at him here. I can tell you what, Tony Jimenez has probably just breathed quite a big sigh of relief here as Jimenez sort of there for Swemster, for Jimenez, as Swemster went past Ruiz, made the mistake because he's been on the back. Ruiz has been on the back of Jimenez since the beginning. We're on lap 7. We've still got 22 on the clock here. And Tony Jimenez now for the XPD Emerald team is starting to go and take a little bit of a break over Kevin Swemster, but I'm sure Fabio Grosseto.
It's, Grosseto. It's on the exit there of turn 11 through Pelagio that he's just got on that curb and he's got it wrong. Luckily, he's ended up in the gravel and not the wall, but it's the curb that sent him around. Yeah,
you try and bounce it free on the curb, it's not going to happen. And for Grosseto now, he's got Patrick Williams right behind him with Townsmar and Oscar Artinano, who's just coming around the corner there as well. So still some great little pockets here as well. Mackenzie Roon and Ewan van der Hoek. Obviously, both of these drivers are teammates. We've had this before, you know, about this whole is he quicker, is he not, is he quicker, is he not discussion with these two. So, and then there you go.
Whoa.
Yeah, Mackenzie Roon makes a mistake.
Yeah, that decision made itself, in effect, with Mackenzie Roon going so wide. I mean, he didn't really need to do that, did he? But he does let Van der Hoek through. And so that's resolved. Now, can Van der Hoek chase down Lee Aberdeen? That's the big test for him now.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised because Van der Hoek is quick. You know what I mean? He is quick here, and I think he might, if now he's in fresh air, he might have a good old go at the moment. He's literally pulled out half a second on Mackenzie Roon already, so there's no reason why Van der Hoek can't go and catch up to him. I think he's got the pace, and I think over this next lap, I think you'll see the difference in pace here.
Yeah, we might well do, but this is his biggest test so far for Van der Hoek. We've seen him do well so far this season. He's not had a real championship run yet, but Lee Aberdeen certainly has. He's won titles in the past, of course. Won it on Koutback back in Season 2 of 2023, but that was nearly a year ago now when we started that season. That's becoming a very long time ago, and so Lee Aberdeen is just getting back into the swing of things, but this would be a big test and a big test past as well for Van der Hoek if he could chase down the Australian here.
Yeah, he is doing an absolute stellar job. Let's see if Van der Hoek is able to get up to the back of him and catch up with Lee Aberdeen. I will say one thing though, Lee Aberdeen has looked very comfortable this year and he's done very, very well. So I think at the end of the day, he's going to be very, very difficult to catch and overtake. So it's all right, Van der Hoek getting there. Catching him is another thing. I'll tell you what is going on here is Brent Ruiz and Kevin Webster. Oh! Ruiz is not giving up. He's got to get that car stopped though. There was a little bit of tyre rubbing on the way down. Ruiz opens up the steering. He cuts off Swebster's nose. Swebster can't get through on the exit of 2 or 3. He's got to be looking to kind of come back at him. But Brent Ruiz, whoa, he was manly there.
That was aggressive defence, but even more aggressive offence from Brent Ruiz there, who gets through into 6th position past Wemstra as Pedro Suarez and Nicholas Westman, I think, have made contact. Westman's ended up off the road and out the race. So let's see what happens here. So Suarez gets out of the way initially. Then Westman tries to go round the outside and gets it wrong in some way. He tries to go down the inside, ends up in the wall, does Westman. There's the move. It's a difficult one to call.
Oh, yeah, that's hard because that incident didn't just start from that moment. It started when Suarez went off track and it was all out of shape and he was bent all out of shape. So that's the problem. And then, as we said earlier on, as soon as you lose this the flow in this circuit, it all goes a little bit wrong and you struggle to get it back. And Suarez did struggle to get it back. He's got to kind of, I don't know how you're going to settle that one. I tell you what, that's going to be an interesting one for the stewards to discuss.
It is. We did have some stewards' decisions actually from the last round, by the way, that I will briefly mention as long as no one dives up the inside at turn 1 here. Brent Ruiz is getting quite close to doing so on Tony Jimenez actually, so we'll hold that thought. Here goes Ruiz down the inside. Didn't qualify maybe as well as he should have done for this race, especially considering his championship position in 2nd in the standings, but he's up now to 5th position. That's his 3rd place gain today.
Yeah, do you know the thing with that one as well was Tony Jimenez missed a trick there. Because yes, he lost the place, but if he kept his foot in going out of 1 through into 2, he probably could have had the inside into 2, and he just didn't quite get it laid on there, unfortunately, for Tony Jimenez. Now we go onto the front wing of Kevin Webster as he's battling away here as well as he goes off round turn 8 or Arabiata 1 into Arabiata 2. Here as well, and then on that run down into turn 10 and a name I can't pronounce, so I won't try.
Turn 11 you can't pronounce, or turn 10?
Turn 10.
Turn 10 at Scarparia I'm going to go for,
okay.
in the least Italian accent ever. Then Pelagio, then Correnteo in turn 12, Biondetti, and then Buccine in turn 15. That's my best Italian. I can't speak Italian, by the way, but that was just me reading it badly. So there we are. Penalties, by the way, have just come through for Silverstone this week. So, but there were a few to note, which is why I bring it up. 10-second penalty to Kevin Zwemster for blocking, which is interesting given what we saw with his defence on Brent Ruiz. That could get him into trouble. And then there were 6 penalties for track limits, which I'm not going to list, but Brent Ruiz was one of them. And so he will have dropped points at Silverstone, and that is currently his drop round, by the way, probably as a result. Oh. Here goes Kevin Zwemster, by the way, on Tony Jimenez, not doing the blocking and the defending on this occasion, but doing the overtaking and doing it very well to get up into 6th place.
Yeah, he did there as well. Some great racing from Zwemster. We've got Jakub Oleszewski. He's chasing away on Evan Way here. So a good little battle materialising there. And then we've got Eddie Amos and Richard van der Veen battling away. They're just going past the bottom of your screen now. And then Adam Townsma, he'll be coming around the corner very, very shortly. There he is as he's trying to chase Patrick Williams. And then Giovanni Salito leads a gaggle of cars here. Scatini, Kessler and George Angelidis as these guys are battling it out for 22nd, 21st and 20th place.
Yeah, and you can see, by the way, the bottom end of the standings at the moment, you can see those two are left in the race at the moment. Of those are not going to be classified at the end of the day. So all of the guys you're seeing on the left-hand side of your screen are the ones still in the race as of right now. This is the biggest group, though, out on the circuit as the field is starting to spread out a little bit. It's headed by Oscar Artinano in 18th position, with quite a few drivers still pretty close behind him.
Yeah, we're on board Marino Scatini now. He's got Giovanni Salito, of course, who is technically this home circuit from Salito, but we'll see whether or not he likes it, of course, because not everybody likes their home track in general, because why would you at the end of the day? Some tracks you don't like, some tracks you do like. So there you go. So this is that little battle there as well. Swebster and Jimenez are going again. Jimenez is now trying to go around the outside this time of turn one, and he does wrap it up there. I am surprised that they don't do anything.
Tony Jimenez goes for it. Well, I think it's quite difficult to do anything about the slipstream, isn't it? When you're on the front straight, we've seen those two overtake each other in a very similar way now.
Yeah, cover the inside. Cover the inside line and make him go round the long way. The only way he will then get the overtake done is if you get a really poor exit out of one, and he's got to go round the outside and he could keep his foot in and take a late break on two. That's the only way he's going to get it done. If you just leave it for him just to go round there and sweep round you as if you're a piece of rubbish in the street, and he just sweeps you out of the way, you're not going to put up anything. You know, it's like a boxer going into a boxing match with no boxing gloves on. He ain't going to last 2 minutes. So it's going to be, you know, you've got to give a little bit of the defence. You can't just roll over, you know.
Well, you say that, but Jimenez did defend the inside into turn one when he was overtaken, and Swebster just went around the outside anyway. So I'm not sure, because the slipstream's quite so powerful and the front straight is actually quite long when you're in these cars, or at least you're on it for a long time, it does mean it's pretty difficult to defend. And now we're going to see the battle back for 18th place again. Oscar Artinano under pressure from John McKenzie again, but holds on again.
The big old group here as well, getting close to each other. The thing is what I said about Jimenez earlier on, Ewan, with his when he lost that place. If he had gone round the outside of two, which he did do, outside of one, sorry, which he did do, but then he didn't late break into two. He just allowed him to come across and take his place away. So it is a very difficult situation, and we'll have a look. Andy Flint, unfortunately, that's not really a good sort of view here. Here we go with Rabelard and also Eddie Amos. So Rabelard's gone wide, which is fine. What Rabelard's got to do is come up this inside line that's left open and force Amos to leave the door open for him. You can see it here. Artinano, and unfortunately Mackenzie's got a little bit deep, but you can see him on the second place there behind on Salito. He goes in deep and goes late on the brakes into two, which then closes the door for any move back. You can't get back through. He's got to be, if you're going to run around the outside, you've got to late break into two to take that inside line away.
Yeah, Salito's a surprisingly long way back actually at the moment in 20th place, but that was John McKenzie's chance, and he kind of ruined it on the outside at turn one there, just going way too deep into the corner and getting it wrong. So Artinano continues on in 18th position. There are encouraging amounts of battles going on out there on the circuit as well. The one for 14th can be added in, but this is by far still the biggest group, and there it is. Edward Amos still hanging on to that place.
Yeah, he's still got Rabelard behind him as they're coming round the... Patrick Williams.
Patrick Williams off. And it's through the same corner that Fabio Grosseto dropped it. He's going to drop it in a different way and end up on the outside instead.
Yeah, unfortunately for Williams there, that was just all on his self-doing. But if we have a look and see if Rabelard can get this run out. If he can get this run out, there is Amos. Amos is right about now sitting like a sitting duck at the moment, right? He's got about 3 attempts. Rabelard's going to try and come in now as well. He needs about 2 attempts by the time he gets to the line, just about touches it. Now he should send him on the outside. But Amos defend the inside line. Right, Rabelard's gone. So what he's got to do now, he's got to go in deep, get the car stopped, and then dive and run up the inside. Here he goes. He's got to go in, got to go in, got to go in. He didn't quite get on the gas early enough. That's forced Amos into a mistake. Now Rabelard's put him all out of shape, and now we can have a proper go at Amos as they go from turn 4, turn 5, which is where they're at the moment, and they're still going at it side by side. Not sure if we've lost Ewan altogether now.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't know you'd stopped talking because it's cutting out for me as well now, so that's good.
Great.
But I didn't want to talk over you, so I just didn't say anything at all.
No, I'm all done, mate. You carry on.
Okay. Yeah, Amos hangs on then, and another battle that's getting closer actually is not only the one for first, although that's probably for later. We've got one for 10th place with Evan Way, Andy Flint and Patrick Piper as well, who are all pretty close together. There they are, coming through the chicane at the end of the lap. They are just at half second separates them all. They're probably not close enough to one another to overtake just yet, but they are developing that battle for the last spot in the top 10.
Yeah, they are here as well. Not too far apart currently at the moment. 9 tenths between the three of them, so not very much apart as well. I am interested to see on the Van der Hoek in Aberdeen. That gap's been slowly decreasing here as well. So these guys are going to be coming together within a few laps, I think. Over the last few laps here for Van der Hoek and Aberdeen, it's been neck and neck on the last lap. But look, you see Van der Hoek's been pulling time out over the last 4 laps. So he's pulled out quite a bit out of Aberdeen at the moment as well.
Well, look at those last lap times. Incredible, really. By the way, I'm seeing Van der Hoek 1,000th of a second quicker than Lee Aberdeen. But anyway, what's a 1,000th of a second here or there? Doesn't really matter, does it? No. Van der Hoek is closing, though. I think that's what we can take from those 5 laps there. But if he does at this rate, then we're going to be here forever, and it's going to be the last 10 laps, really, where it's going to kick off, if it does at all between these two, because Van der Hoek went out very fast at Indianapolis. He got the lead, but then fell apart towards the end. Yeah,
but can it be roles reversed here? That's going to be the question. That's the thing. Do we think it's going to be roles reversed? As Jacques in YouTube chat. Exit turn 1 is 0 grip on the outside. Won't work. You'll spin if you push it. Well, let's just see what happens, dear sir, because I've got a funny feeling there will be that move round the outside as well. And we have seen it round the outside, haven't we? And they managed to hold on to it as well, Ewan. So already, Jacques, you're wrong.
Well, I'm not quite willing to say that, to be honest. But anyway.
Supposed to back me up here. We're on the same team.
Am I? Okay. Well, we'll see. Because it is the overtaking zone of the circuit. Doesn't seem to be any other opportunities for anybody, really. We might get our latest example here for 10th place. Evan Way ahead of Andy Flint, but I don't think by quite enough. You're on this front straight for a very long time, and it allows you to slipstream, come up right in the rear. Evan Way doesn't choose to protect the inside, so Andy Flint is going to go diving down the inside instead. Evan Way just doesn't want to lose 2 places in one, really, and so he lets Andy Flint go through, and that's fair enough. So Flint up to 10th place because Way didn't want to lose 2 places in one.
There you go. Look, Rabelard. Oh, somebody's got to get that outside line tonight. I can't let Jacques win. That would be horrendous. So here we go. Rino Scattini's going to go around the outside as well. Here we go. Here we go. He's going to make it. Oh, go on, son. Oh, not this time over Chris George Angelides. They're getting there, Jacques. That's the thing. Jacques in YouTube chat. He sat at home in the comfy of his own sofa going, they're not going to make it. But they are trying. The more the grip goes out there, the more they've got opportunity-wise. And we've just seen it near enough there with Angelides and Scattini. If Scattini didn't have that little bit of a slide, he would have made it there as well. So Andy Flint, Evan Way, and Richard Van Veen still going at it.
Yeah, they are further back. I do feel like someone could manage it if they were a bit braver on the inside. Diving through the second part. The outside seems to be, a little bit where it doesn't. It's not the beneficial line. Certainly, it's the long way around. First of all, never mind the whole grip thing. It's the long way around, but also it's diving up the inside at the end, which is, I think people are a little bit tentative, but we are still in the second third of the race at the moment. Let's see what happens here with Flint again, as Evan Way is going to try and chase back down again ahead of Patrick Piper. And Evan Way, of course. The 3 of them still together, and they're going to stay single file this time around, but these 2 are not. Eddie Amos is going to leave the inside for Thibaut Rabillard to go through.
Why did you give up the inside? Now you've got to go and try and do what I said. Oh, I don't get that. Why give up the inside line? That makes no sense. Let's see if Scatini and Kessler can get it sorted out here as well. Kessler's going in a little bit deeper as well there. He's coming around the outside now. There you go, Marcello Kessler, go up. It's not quite brave enough on that outside edge, are they?
No, they not at the moment. But also, there's a case of, is it really worth it at this stage? Because we're still a long way to go in this race, more than 10 laps. Maybe it's a move for the very end of the race that we're going to start seeing brought out.
Yeah, maybe it is there as well. Jacques not on the sofa, apparently. He's in bed with the flu, bless you. Oh, never mind, mate. Otherwise, I'll be there trying it on the outside as well. And then Chaos Druid, JP, you can fight your own battles. Well, I can, but it's just nice to have backup every now and then, isn't it? You know what I mean? Let's go on here. Go Mackenzie says doodly doodler. If it's in YouTube chat, Mackenzie, we're sitting in third place at the moment as well. But now it's just John Mackenzie and Oscar Artinanu, who have been close together throughout this race as well.
Yeah, so get well soon to Jack Williams, by the way, who, as you say, who's a bit
Jack.
ill.
Yeah, get well soon.
Yeah, you're abusing him, and he's there already reeling from the flu.
Oh, he's got
and
man flu, as my wife calls it. Get on with it, Jacques. Be a man. Put on the big pants.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. He's going to be even less happy now. Thibaut Rabillard goes on the defensive again from Eddie Amos. He seems a lot less willing to let Amos through, although neither of them seem to be very able to keep the other behind. Rabillard is able to manage it this time, as it's side by side. John Mackenzie looks like he might find his way through on Oscar Artinano on this occasion.
Go on,
and
John.
he does. Well, no, I think he's going to run out of grip again, and he's just going to be pulled off by Artinano again, who's done a very good job of defending so far today, by the way.
Yeah, poor Artinano, he's been under the defence for literally the last 18 laps here. He's been defending like an absolute stout man as Oscar Artinano, and he's got the Scotsman of John Mackenzie behind him as well, the William Wallace blood throwing through the Scotsman here as well, and he's trying to get past the Spanish matador that is Oscar Artinano, who's just not letting him through currently at the moment as well here. So great battle in here as well. We'll keep an eye as they start going down that long start finish straight there, Ewan, and start picking up the close ones before they get to the end.
Yeah, we will see what happens there. 17th place, this is all 4, but as I say, Oscar Artinano has done such a good job at defending. And he's holding back 5 drivers at the moment in this 6-car train again, as Lee Aberdeen sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Is he just turning on the speed again just to pull away from Van der Hoek to keep that race win out of reach? That was all wrong from John Mackenzie, out of the long hairpin of turn 12, and so he's going to have loads of trouble down in towards the next couple of corners. Meanwhile, Andy Flint still ahead of Evan Way, who's losing speed here, and Patrick Piper is next up.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind on that, but Evan Way left the front door so far open now. I could have gone in and robbed his house. He left it that far open, and I'm surprised Piper didn't just do what he, customary should do, is just absolutely send it. But we're going to go 3 wide into 1 here as well. Now we are going to have an outside overtake. Giovanni Solito, he's got it in his blood here. Is he going to make it through? He's going to get up alongside John Mackenzie as well.
He's
just not done it there as well.
Oh,
on the IGP.
Jack Williams punches the air again because they can't do it. They just can't do it. I do wonder what happens on the last lap here when they know that is the last chance. Is somebody just going to throw it there and just see what happens?
This one's for you, James. Just shucks it up.
They can't hear. I'm sure they would do if they could hear us, but they can't at the moment. Oh, and it looks like we've got Momenti off the road, unfortunately, at the well, I don't know where he is actually, but he's down in 25th at the moment. He's a long way back from the field. Yeah,
he's had a bit of a mare as Mamini as well, unfortunately. Lap 16 he had a moment. Now he's had another one on lap 18. So I'll leave that poor young man there as well to sit down and just try and kind of get his head back into the race here once again. John Mackenzie, of course, still battling away here with Solito and Artinanu. I tell you what, these guys have put on a show back here, and it's so awesome to see that even down here, 18, 19, 20, and 17, they're still battling away for it here as well. This is the line into the last corner. That's where I said about they can either run very wide and try and cut off the apex right near the end and take a late one, or they can just literally go and hug the inside line. But now we're going to go the Scotsman of Wallace. You may take my house, but you're never going to take my 18th place here as well, as John McKenzie is going to be the first ever Scotsman to go round the outside and make it work into turn 2. He's going to go and do it here, Ewan. He's got his car alongside. Oh, he's going to have a go. Go on, John. Oh, no.
Oh, and that's why you don't do it. Oh, there's chaos. They're all over the road. Giovanni Solito dives for the gravel to avoid. Oscar Artinano's got no rear wing anymore. What a disaster. After a great defence all race long. He wasn't expecting someone to be brave on the inside at turn 2. And there's the contacts. I've got to say, I think Artinano may have come across there on him into turn 2. He may have not been expecting the move.
Yeah, I think the thing is, did he have the inside? That's the thing. His car's alongside him as well. He's still alongside just. Oh, I think Artinano might have closed the door on him, you know. I've got to be honest on that one there as well. But we've still got Angelidis, we've still got McKenzie, we've still got Scattini, and we've still got Kessler. So we've got 4 out of the 6 here as well, as Mamimi jumps back into the pits there as well. That young man's having an absolutely horrendous evening. So there you go. But now we've got Swemstra and Jimenez there as well. Told you it was possible, Jack. There we go.
It might be possible, although we don't know how that would have transpired if they hadn't made contact. I was looking forward to seeing how they would have, how it would have gone actually, but unfortunately we'll never know. And that's a real shame for Oscar Artinano, who drove so well, and unfortunately is going to finish no better than 24th at the end of the day. And so the final battles are upon us. 8 laps to go at the line, and Tony Jimenez versus Kevin Zwemstra is the closest one, as that group for 17th is still sort of a group, and actually Rino Scattini is pretty close to the back of John McKenzie at the moment, but not close enough for a move this time. Solito is getting past Maximilian Gerhardt though.
Yeah, they are. They've just run side by side. Gerhardt's just let him through here. It's the battle of the tablecloths, as we've called them, with the green there as well of Gerhardt and the red of Kessler there as well. So the battle of the Italian tablecloths once more further down, with Solito, who has just cleared Gerhardt there. So Artinano's into the pits and he's left the pit. So hopefully we should see Artinano back out. He should go and score some points here. That would be awesome for him. That young man was absolutely pure matador blood flowing through his veins there, and did an absolute stellar job. So that's going to be George
Angelidis. Oh my word, that was a big moment. I thought he was getting that wrong right from the start. I thought there's no way you can carry that much speed round turn 9, and turns out you can't. And so George Angelidis was right in the gravel, sliding sideways. John McKenzie now right behind him.
Yeah, McKenzie going for it again. Jimenez and Zwemstra are side by side. Jimenez is on the outside, Zwemstra's on the inside. Jimenez gave that up. Surely that was Zwemstra getting, but it was. And that, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sure there's a reason, right? And I'm sure there's a reason why they keep taking that line, but they're not doing anything. Either defend, or like he did there, just rolled over and was like, have it, go on, I'll get you on the next one sort of thing. But, you know, defend a little bit. Give him something tough to fight at. Don't just let him have it there, as George Angelidis has got John McKenzie once more as well. The Scotsman's tried it once, made a little bit of contact with Artinano, who then ended up going over the curb. It was as Artinano went over the curb, though, Ewan, that his rear wing fell off.
Well, yeah, I think it was down to the contact, but yeah, it did come off at the same time, and unfortunately he's had to go down to the pit lane to have that reattached. So he's now down to 24th and will finish there, and no lower anyway. In the field, he's the last running car in the race, and so will still score decent points considering he's last, but unfortunately there's not many here today, but we've made up for it with the racing. It's been fantastic so far, and by the way, Luca Verani has caught Zwemstra and Jimenez in their battle for 7th, or 6th even.
We're going to have a nice freeway fight as we go onto the air intake on the left-hand side there of these F3 machines. We're on prime position with Luca Verani. We can see everything now as well. Here we go. Is Luca going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to watch this battle unfold out in front? Is Tony Jimenez going to go around the outside? He is going to go for it there as well. Is Tony going to be able to make it work? I don't think he's in long enough. No, he's not in deep enough either. He just couldn't quite make it work there as well. We've only seen one attempt, and now we've got Reno Scattini. He's just gone at the inside there of John McKenzie as these guys are running around the final corner. But McKenzie's got the draft, of course, so this could go the other way by the time we get to turn one.
I don't know if that was a great idea. Reno Scattini he's going to get drafted past here by John McKenzie. It will be almost side by side by the line here. Over the crest of the hill they're going to go. And Mackenzie's going to have to go to the outside. That's the disadvantage of catching so early. You're forced to the outside. Here he goes. He'll squeeze Scattini as much as possible. He needs to hit the gas as much as possible, then get to the inside. Scattini does the same through turn 2, but he's still offset here. John McKenzie's going to get the run out of 3, and now is he close enough for something at 4? He is. He was going for the outside, now the inside at turn 4. That's very close, but Scattini does that perfectly and hangs on to 18.
Oh, he nearly had it, Mackenzie, and he nearly had it there clean, didn't he, John, as well? He almost got it. He ran out well out of 1. He grabbed as much grip on that outside line as he could, and he was pushing that F3 like an absolute trooper. Just couldn't quite make it here either. So, unfortunately, I reckon John McKenzie, he's got William Wallace blood, mate. He's not going to give up. He's a Scotsman, I can tell you that much here as well. Tony Jimenez for the XPD there. Mackenzie Room with the fastest lap of the race. Great job from him. Now Jimenez is under attack from Brani. And if Jimenez just gives it up like he did over Zwemstra, going into the last 5, that's insane. Why would you do that?
Well, I guess he's got the confidence that he can come back again. Well, I can't really think of any other reasons why, but that's the only one I can think of. Dremstra has certainly gotten away here for 6th position, and Luca Verani is right there again, and admitted to us last week that he's been getting involved in more incidents than he would have liked so far this season, and in fact his previous record over the last couple of years has been a lot better than what we've seen from him in this season, and he said to us even he can't really put his finger on quite why it's happening to him this season.
Yeah, no idea, but Salito here as well. He's just got Mackenzie. Now we've got Kessler. He's going to have a go here as well. Mugello Kessler has got it. No, you've got to be closer than that, dear sir. Even I've got to admit that one. Salito there trying his hardest to hang on to the back of Kessler. Oh, Mackenzie's off. Oh,
that's a big hit.
John. My hero has gone. As poor old John. That's on the gas too early, that is. Always come out. Oh, he hit the gravel.
Yeah, he was right on the limit there. He was right on the limit of grip. And if the gravel wasn't there, then he would have been fine. But it was. Hopefully he gets out again to get some points, because he's not done quite enough laps to get points yet. You need 27 laps complete to score points around here at Mugello here tonight. Meanwhile, Thibaut Rabelat is dispatched of Eddie Amos, is now looking at overtaking Richard Van Veen for 13th.
Yeah, Rabelat out as well. Eddie Amos has dropped back 3 seconds at the moment. Mackenzie has had to, unfortunately, John Mackenzie has had to jump into the pit lane here. But this is what Tony Jimenez needed to do. Just drive the car on the inside and allow them, if you're going to allow them, to take the wider line. If you're not going to allow them to do it, Rabelat tries it there. He's got to come off like an absolute slingshot. He's going to have the inside line. Thibaut Rabelat, you are my hero. Go on, son, round the outside he goes. Is he going to be able to get it? Is he going to be able to get it? He got it. Yes! Jack Williams, I am right.
And there is the signed delivery of it. Thibaut Rabelat goes through into 13th position into turn 4 ahead of Richard Van Veen. And that was fantastic from the Frenchman. Oh, it goes off in celebration almost into the gravel there as he gets to the high-speed section through turns 6, 7 and 8. But fantastic overtake from Rabelat, and off goes Van Veen. He should have that 13th place now.
Yeah, Rabelat did it there as well. He did what I said, ran the outside of 1, sent it into 2, put him all out of shape, took it going through 4 as well. Great job, Thibaut Rabelat, and there you go, Jacques. Who said it wasn't possible here either? Giovanni Salita, Mugello, Kessler as well, and Ewan van der Hoek has got Mackenzie Roon closing, who, mind you, has been quick over the last lot of laps here for Mackenzie Roon. So, yeah, but Van der Hoek, he's been losing time to Roon. He wasn't. Roon was a little bit. He was quicker than Roon over 25, but Roon's been pulling him back in. So, yeah, very interesting development between the two teammates here.
Yep, he's managed to get reeled in now, Van der Hoek, and what I feared would happen to him has happened. He's gone out a little bit too hard, and he's getting caught now by Mackenzie Roon, who's not really involved in the championship fight, just looking for some good points here or a good race result, and second place certainly would be just that. Aberdeen, though, at the moment is going to extend his championship lead from what it was at the start of the day. Corrected with the drop round, by the way. It was only 3 points over Brent Ruiz that he had at the moment, but he's Jones before the end.
Yeah, you might have to repeat that bit, buddy. You cut out on us again. The wonderful world of Discord. Considering me and you did a broadcast 30 minutes ago and had no incidents at all there. Mugello Kessler has just passed Giovanni Salito, and they've been backwards and forwards 4 times here. Mackenzie Roon has just cleared Ewan van der Hoek there as we were looking further down the field, but he got that job done very early. I don't know if van der Hoek is letting... Yeah, he's letting
slow
him
down.
Yeah.
Has he let him? Maybe he's let him.
Yeah, he let him.
Looks like it.
So Van der Hoek now is obviously behind the other side. Nice team play from these guys at Delta Sport, who are keeping this clean and nice racing going on there as well. So yeah, great action still, and we've still got 2 laps to go.
Yeah, still a couple of laps to the end of this one, in fact. So 3, including the one that we're on at the moment. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I'll try to say before I cut out again, Lee Aberdeen's going to more than double his championship lead based on if the drop round is also applied to Brent Ruiz, who's currently 5th at the moment in the race. So that's worth bearing in mind. Pedro Suarez a bit further back, so he's going to lose out here today, and he's going to score no points in the round, so that will drop him a little bit further, probably behind Van der Hoek, who's having a decent race, and Mackenzie Roon as well, who are both on the podium. They'll probably both move into 3rd and 4th in the standings.
Some great action from them guys. It's going to be very interesting when the standings do come out. We'll keep up to date, of course, next week with them ones. Gerber is still trying to chase down Salito, who's trying to chase down Kessler in front of him. So we're getting into that nitty-gritty. The last 2 laps here, we've seen it take place here as well. So some great racing throughout the field. We're starting to get to a little bit of a quiet bit here as well, Ewan, where the car's starting to get a little bit more spread out. But all in all, some great actions taking place here.
Yeah, great action, especially in this group here, but also all throughout the field. We've really enjoyed the racing here at Mugello. It is a shame that there's only sort of really one place where you can make an overtake around here, and that has become very true over the course of the day. You know, we haven't seen overtakes absolutely everywhere, but we have seen reliable overtakes. It's been great racing at that early point in the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, when we saw the short grid, we were kind of a little bit like, maybe not. But Patrick Williams, unfortunately, may have just had a moment here all on his own, unfortunately, for Patrick. He's hit the curb. You've unsettled that machine already. You've hit the curb, you're going to run wide, and now you're going to pirouette like a ballerina in Swan Lake. There we go. Unfortunately for Patrick Williams there. But he was already unsettled. You see him hit the curb, and he unsettled the car already, which, of course, then led to the unsettlement going round the rest of the corners. So it was always going to be difficult for him there as well. So yeah, but still some great racing taking place. I've loved this. I think it's been absolutely awesome, and they've done really well here between them all.
They have done very well in terms of racing. It's been entertaining stuff so far, but now it's finally starting to spread out on the penultimate lap of the race. Couple of battles still to settle. Giovanni Salito here, though, is not quite close enough to Marcelo Kessler to get up the inside for 19th position. This is really the
Hope we lost Ewan altogether this time.
Oh,
there we go. I tell you what, this is driving me crazy. You just cut out again on us, mate. It's like a 5-second disappearance of Mr. O'Leary here as Discord decides that it wants to play silly little been a little bit of an issue here this evening. Lee Aberdeen is going to take the white flag here, so a great job from him. I will pick up on Salito because he is quite close to Kessler here, Ewan.
Yes, it happens to you as well sometimes, because I've got no idea what you just said. But anyway, Mackenzie Roon just set the fastest lap of the race. Well, very brief, wasn't it? That was very brief indeed. Will McIntyre-Jones has just said it now with a 40.1. So everyone fighting for the fastest lap. It's not worth a point or anything, but it's worth noting. Everyone's getting it at this point as Jakub Olszewski hangs on to 9th place ahead of Andy Flint as they go side by side briefly.
Yeah, as well, another nearly job there as well. Oleszewski all a little bit out of shape at the moment. I want to pack up on Salito. They're just coming on to that start-finish straight. I just want to see if he's 4 temps back at the moment, whether or not he's going to be able to make that move. He's gone down to 3 temps currently, 2 temps. And now Salito is going to be alongside Kessler here by the time they get into turn 1. Is Giovanni going to go and send Giovanni outside? All or nothing, Giovanni. It is the white flag. Here he goes, Giovanni Salito going deep and using like a slingshot. He has got in deep here as well. Round the outside is Giovanni Salito. Up the inside, he's got it done there as well. Now cover him off. Go on, Giovanni. That's 2 for 2 here this evening as well. Theobald Rabelard. And now Giovanni Salito makes it round the outside there as well. Happy days.
And Lee Aberdeen is not far away from taking another race win. He's not finished below the top 2 all season, but this is only his 2nd win here at round 5 of the iGPFun F3 League. Here from Mugello, it's Lee Aberdeen who wins by just over a second and a half after leading every single one of the 29 laps today.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job start to finish there as well for Lee Aberdeen. Stellar job from him. Andy Flint, is he going to be able to clear Oleszewski before the line? He's not going to get that done. What about Patrick Piper and Evan Way? It's the same scenario for them guys, unfortunately. Now we've got Kessler and Gerhardt together there as well with the green and red. And now Salito is in front of him. I don't think they're going to get Salito unless Salito makes a mistake here as well. So I'll be very surprised if they get him. But these will be the last guys. I believe is Oscar Artinano still going. He is, I believe, at the moment here as well. And John McKenzie. So as these guys going to come around the final part, they're going to round this one off here. And a great job from all 3 of them. Some great action there as well. And then we come across with a man from Scotland. He comes over the line and completes the race. Excellent racing here. I thoroughly enjoyed this tonight. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah, it was fantastic racing to watch and to be a part in probably as well. Lee Aberdeen, the winner at the end of it, though, by just over a second and a half. Had a Mackenzie Roon who really came with a head of steam at the end. Ewan van der Hoek finished on the podium with Will McIntyre-Jones and Brent Ruiz. Kevin Stremster, the first of those outside the top 10 in the championship to be inside the top 10 in the race. Tony Jimenez was 7th, ahead of Luca Verani. Jakub Olszewski held off Andy Flint for 9th, ahead of Evan Way, who really dropped off towards the end. Patrick Piper couldn't get past him, though. Thibaut Rabelot got up to 13th in the end, ahead of Richard Van Veen and Eddie Amos during that race. 16th was Adam Townshend, we didn't see a lot of. He was ahead of Chris George Andalidis, who got away from that big battle with everybody involved, including Rinus Catini, Giovanni Salito, and so on. Marcelo Kessler was there as well, Maximilian Gerhardt. Patrick Williams finished 1 lap down, so did Oscar Artinano and John McKenzie. They will all be classified. However, Essam Momeni, Pedro Suarez, Fabio Grassetto, Nicholas Westman and Haitham Misban Demna will not be classified. Neither will Ito, Ponte, Zamota or Giuliani, none of which actually took the start in today's race. But that is it for our first round at Mugello here in the iGPFun F3 League, and I think it's fair to say it was a pretty successful one.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely awesome. Some great battling, some great racing. I thought these guys did absolutely amazing as well. Nice side-by-side action. You know, I was right, you were wrong, Jacques, as they went round the outside and made the overtake there from Rabelard and then Salito. So it was possible. It just took them time. You know, they've got to give it a few attempts here, Ewan.
They did have to take quite a few attempts of it, actually, but
that's not
they
the
managed
point.
it.
That's not the point.
They eventually got there, and that's
did.
the important part of it. So thanks to everyone who's been tuned in here this evening, chatting along with us as well. It's been great as normal, but for now it's time for us to bid our farewell. Subscribe to the JPB YouTube channel for all of the racing coming up in the coming week. But for now, from me, Ewan and Jez Parfitt alongside me, until next week, it's goodbye for now.